Hello all. For any queries on the topics discussed in my YouTube channel or any general QA technical questions assistance, please join our official QA forum in Facebook. There are thousands of QAs actively collaborating to this group with their experiences, so you can post your question or be a mentor for another QA who needs help. Okay, so you can find the link in the description below to join this forum and subscribe to our below YouTube channel. Good luck. Welcome guys. So in this section we are going to learn about group by and aggregate functions. These are two different concepts but they are used together. So that's the reason I am dedicating this whole section to learn about these two concepts. Okay, so these two concepts play an important role in SQL queries because these help us to play and retrieve the data in n number of ways. Okay, so I'm going to explain you how powerful these are with these live examples so that you will know when to use this and how this makes our life easier. Right, so first let's see what is this group by. Now for example, I want to get, let's take this first example and then try to demonstrate how this concept will emerge from here. So get total sum of amount generated for each month. So this is the table I am going to use to demonstrate this section, and if you want to create this very quick in your SQL workbench, use this query, or in this lecture I have attached one file. Just download that file and copy that SQL and just paste it in your notepad so that this table will be created. Thereafter you can just insert it based upon your values. Okay, so the table creation syntax is available with this lecture, so you can take this and can start practicing with me parallelly. Okay, so I have created one table and this is how my table looks like in the database. Currently these are the values it got stored. So let me quickly show that. So I'll be using database called business. So thereafter select star from transactions is the table. Okay, transactions, perfect. So run this. Oh, no database selected. So first you have to run this and then run this step. Okay, so this is the table which I'm talking about. This is how you have a table with all the details in transactions table. So I have pasted it here. Okay, now based upon this table, let's retrieve the values and solve all these queries. First, get me the amount generated for each month. So how do you do that? Okay, so there is a February, March, April. In every month on one specific day, transaction happened in one specific branch. This is what this table says. Okay, on February 13th, 124 rupees transaction happened in the Bangalore branch, and in the February 17th, $20,400 transaction happened in the Chicago branch. Let's say there is one company and they have branches in different places. So this is what they got amount on specific day on specific month. So it seems they hardly got 3 transactions in 1 month, that too from 3 different branches. So very poor performance by that company. Okay, so fine. Now as a CEO of the company, I want to analyze and see what's happening and why the results are going like this down. So I asked my SQL developer to get the amount generated in every month. I have to see how much my company did worldwide in the February, March, April, and in the January, May. So I think Jan to May, 5 months are recorded here. So how can you give that? And this is where group by concept comes. Okay, so for each month I asked, right? So I want something like this. If I ask you to do it manually, how do you do that? First you will pick all February's into one place, these three transactions, right? And you will calculate 124, 2400, 320. Okay, and then you will carefully grab all the March stuff and you grab the April. For a minute, do not assume that you don't have SQL knowledge, and for manually, if he asks someone who do not have any technical knowledge, he will do in this manner, right? Similarly, SQL also does in the same way with one query. That's what I'm going to show you now. In Jan, you had one transaction, so you can simply place Jan and then you put the values beside that and count it like this, and you get 20,844. This is how your report if you are not technical guy. So in SQL also, when you ask to get the details for based upon each month, okay, so there is a concept called group by. You can simply say group by month in SQL query. That's it. SQL internally does like this. Okay, all this 22, 16, SQL internally prepare the document like this. This is what you need, right? Let me put and you will have more clear idea. Now you are doing this manually, but when you say group by month, SQL does this work for you. Let's see how it perform. I'll go back and I'll say select star from transactions. Okay, group by what? So if you say group by month, then what happens is SQL will find out firstly how many different months I have here. Okay, let's say that 4 months it had. So if it have 5 months, it create 5 groups first. So when it says February, it will throw in February group. When it have March, it will throw in March group. So like that, if there are 5 unique months you have in the table, then it will create 5 groups for you, and all the related records which belongs to that specific month will go to that specific group. Okay, February group will all have February transactions. March group will all have March transactions. Like that, it will create some consolidated groups in the back end when you say group by month. Okay, if you say group by branch, then it will create groups based upon the branch. Now, for Bangalore, it creates one group and all the transactions related to Bangalore will fall under that group. Okay, this is one and this is one and this is one. This is how it creates one group and put all related Bangalore branch as one group. Okay, it depends on group by what you mention. So here I am saying group by month. Okay, so now when I say group by month, now all this February will be consolidated, right? So like this you will have, I'll just run this query and see what happens. Yeah, so it have given April, February, Jan, March and May unique transactions. Okay, but problem here is, as I said, let me remove this and clearly show how it stores in the backend. We don't want to see anything manually. Okay, so it created group like this, right? Now I am asking to get all the transactions by group by month. So here there are 3 transactions. So by default it gave you the first transaction. Okay, February 13th, 124 Bangalore. And when you have March, it have created one more group like this. So when you say get me select star from transactions, by default it will pull only first record here. That's why you see March 22 9600 is there. And for May it created group like this, but it gave you the first one, May 2nd 3011. Okay, but this is not our purpose, right? That's why aggregate functions will work with group by and give you the exact answer. Now let's see. Now get total sum of amount generated for each month. Okay, so once you write like this, on the back end it will create it like this, right? Now when you say total sum of amount, these are the amounts, right? So it creates sum based upon the group wise. So for February it creates one sum, for March it creates one sum, for April it again create one sum by calculating all the transactions, and then it will report it back. And that how you can achieve this query, get sum of amount generated for each month. Okay, before you sum, first you have to consolidate like this groups, right? So that SQL will simply sum for that specific month. So with this step, we are able to create consolidated groups. And then what you do here, sum is a function, aggregate function used in SQL. Okay, sum of what? Sum of amount. And you have to know for which month the sum is, right? That's it. Okay, now you run this test and see what happens. Perfect. So February 20,844. You see that 20,844. Just SQL did for you, and it's very simple. Okay, so if you don't do group by, let's see what happens. You see that it went for toss. So when you have no group by, it simply calculated all the sum, 14,000, I mean some 1,41,443, right? That's what it reported here. So there is no group concept. When you ask to sum up total amount, it simply summed of all the transactions which are present in the table. Okay, this is also one query. Your CUF may ask that get me whole amount generated, and then you can use this query. But if he asks get me the sum of amount generated monthly, okay, month wise, then you can say group by month. Okay, then SQL will consolidate each month into one specific group and applies the sum operation on that group. Okay, so that's why it applied sum on specific groups, and then when you run this with group by month, it applied group wise and gave you the perfect result based upon month. Okay, so that's how you can achieve the total sum of amount generated for each month. Okay, let's see maximum, get maximum transaction or amount. So basically our intention is to find out maximum transaction in every month. So in whole February, 20,400 is the maximum transaction, right? Because out of 124, 320 and 20,400, this is the largest. So you can give that this is what maximum transaction happened in February. What's in the March? It's 9,600. So like that, your boss needs to know what is the maximum amount or transaction had happened in every month. So if we ask sum, then simply by group by sum we were able to achieve that. But here this time it's asking maximum. So there is one more function in SQL which is max. When you say like this, it will go and search for the maximum amount in that specific column and give you that transactions. If I don't give group, what happens? It simply scans the entire table and see which row have the maximum amount, and it will give you. Okay, let's see if by running this. What happened? Oh, sorry. Table name is wrong. You see that? 99,999 is the maximum transaction happened in the February. If he needs the entire year, but I need maximum transaction per each month. When you say each month, then use group by. Simple. You see that? So in February, 20,400 is the highest. So you got that. In Jan, 666, 2000. 2000 is the highest. Yeah. So like this, in March, it's 9,600, and that's how you can get a maximum amount. And if you want to know the minimum amount, so everything is same, but there is one more aggregate function called min, which actually does the work for you with minimum amount. Okay, and now you run this query and you get all the minimum amount, which is quite opposite of the maximum amount generated per each month. Now, so before I see this further queries, let's do one thing. Select the minimum amount from transactions, group by branch. So I want to know what is the minimum amount generated in each branch. So for now we have Bangalore branch, Chicago branch, Sydney branch and Paris branch, right? So in Paris, 2000 is the minimum amount which transaction happened, right? In Bangalore, 124 is the minimum amount. So till now we have seen monthly what is the minimum. Now if you have a query that I want to know based upon branch wise, then what you do? Select minimum amount, the month name from transactions, group by branch. So I hope you are getting clear idea on how this group works internally, okay, and how these aggregate functions are applied on that. If you don't have aggregate function, then this group doesn't make sense. So what is the point after you group? You have to either get minimum, maximum, total, average or something else, right? So if you don't have any aggregate function, you do nothing by creating groups, okay? If you say simply to get group by branch, then it will simply return the first record. Okay, so what happened here? Let's see. Oh, I have to put branch name as well so that I will know for what branch it's having minimum value. Okay, so in Bangalore branch, 124 is the minimum amount happened in February. So in Bangalore we have 124, 666. Yes, we are correct. 124 is the minimum amount. So in Chicago, 5,200 is the minimum. Yep, because 20,400 is the maximum and 5,200 is the minimum. In Sydney, 3,011, 320. This should have in our table. Oh, 23. There is one more. Oh, yeah, this is the minimum. Okay, so that's how you can tweak and get on either monthly basis or branch basis. Whenever someone say get me on monthly basis or get me on branch basis, then first thing what should come into your mind is that group by. Okay, you group them first of all and then think. All right, now we will see how to get an average amount. There is one more aggregate function called average, which is represented with AVG, and that will do an average for all your transactions and give you the amount. Okay, so select average amount and month from transactions, group by month. So in April it's 23, April 12, and do we have one? Oh sorry, 23 is the only one amount, so you got an average. So in January it's 2000 plus 666 divided by 2. Basically it does an average of all your amount. So this is your February records, right? When you ask maximum it gives this, when you ask minimum it gives this, When you ask sum, it will count all of 3 records in that group. But when you ask average, it does 124 plus 20,400 plus 320 divided by 3, and you get an average amount here. Okay, so if you have a query like how much I am making monthly wise on an average in the whole world, so then you have to take all the transactions and get an average. Okay, you can do that with the help of this aggregate function. Alright, so that's pretty much about this lecture, and the next lecture let's talk about few more SQL queries here. Okay, thank you.